I was asked to be part of Bridges probably 3 years before I even started. And I was hesitant just because I had other things that were going on. You know, I was a Eucharistic minister, I was a Sunday school teacher, doing this in the church, and so I found excuses not to do it. And finally, I was asked again, and I was convicted to do this. And it was just like I couldn't say no, and I wasn't sure why I couldn't say no. So I met with a prayer partner, and that was the beginning of God's blessing for me. We sat and we talked, and we explored my relationship, my walk with God. It's really interesting. I'm usually like a very closed-in person and not sharing a lot, but I found myself talking and sharing everything and wanting to grow and wanting to learn more. And I looked forward to those weekly meetings with my prayer partner, where we went over whatever the lesson plan was and studying it. And there would be some days that I would get, you know, so wrapped up, and I would get maybe a little frustrated because I wasn't quite getting it, and I'm like I was missing something. So I would call a friend who's also in religious studies, and like, you know, I have my class and I didn't get this, and I need some help, so when I go to my class next week, I'll be ready. And she would come over and laugh with me, and she was taking me through the same steps that I was going through in my spiritual exercises. And I would get back, and my prayer partner would say, like, well, how did your week go? And I would tell her, you know, I had this really rough week because I couldn't understand what the lesson was telling me. And I really wanted to get it. And so like she said, well, what did you do? And I would be really excited. You know, I talked to this friend, and this is what we came up with. And so I would sit with my prayer partner, and we would just go through the information that that I was supposed to go through, what I learned, what the struggles were for me. And I think that was the best part for me, because I got to have a one-on-one talk with somebody each week that was sharing the same kind of experience that I was, who was taking the same kind of walk that I was. Not only that I was growing, but my prayer partner was also growing with me. So that was just a great experience and a great blessing. I also learned a lot about journaling. You know, when part of the exercise is that you do journal. And I was kind of like, you know, a little hesitant about that, because when you're a kid, you know, you have a diary. Well, I was never good at keeping a diary. And I was like, okay, can I do this? But again, I found myself growing and learning how to journal, and finding that I was excited about what I needed to write down or what I wanted to share with my partner that coming week. Another experience that I really, really enjoyed was what we called fantasizing. And that was, for me, imagining myself during the time of Christ. What was the world like when Jesus was walking the earth? What kind of person would I have been? How did I see myself? What did I smell? What did I hear? And I found out that I had a very great imagination. So the Bridges experience, the whole, just the general walk was something that was exciting. It was a growth experience. I think it's helped me have a deeper walk with God. My joy of sharing with others has grown. Like I said, I used to be one with wanted to keep it to myself, but now I find myself, I wanted to share that journey with others. And I take pleasure and joy in seeing other people enjoy the experiences that I have. And then also like getting a bigger interest in Bridges. I guess the biggest question people are asking me, you know, would you do it again? And my answer is yes, I definitely would do it again. It was an experience of a lifetime, one that I think you just continuously grow with. and that I loved, and hopefully other people will learn to grow and to love it as much as I did.